Hello every pony, the one and only Dark Shadow here again with another update video for all of you. Well, as you could see by the title of this video, I have some good news and some bad news regarding this channel. So let's not waste any more time and jump into it, shall we? Let's start with the bad news first. As all of you know, I stated that I was going to be working on the story, The Gemmed Satyr by the Rarispy, to celebrate 400 plus subscribers. Well, an unfortunate snag has led me to this conclusion. I am not going to be reading this story anymore. Now, you may be asking yourselves, Dark Shadow, what the fuck, mate? You promised us that you would read it. Why did you change your mind? Well, the answer plainly and simply is because of the way the story is written. Before I go any further, I feel like I must address this out of common courtesy, because I highly doubt the author of the story is watching this video right now, but I still feel the need to say this anyway. This is not a rant or a complaint about the story. It's not because the story is bad or badly written, quite the contrary actually. It has to do with how the story is written. What do you mean, you may ask yourselves? Plainly and simply, it has to do with the whole first-person narration throughout the story. Now, again, you must be thinking this. Dark Shadow, you fucking idiot, you knew the story was written in the first person, you said it yourself a couple of videos back, so why did you agree to read it in the first place? Well, at that time, I thought I had a stable method of reading the story in a first-person's perspective, and I thought that it would work, but not just for this story, but for all stories that are in first-person mode. However, as I started working on it, I was proven wrong on so many accounts. Now don't get me wrong, I did start working on the story. In fact, the first video of the series is already finished. I'm looking at it right now as I'm doing this video. However, upon listening to the audio, I wasn't satisfied with what I heard. Now, you might say to yourself, if it doesn't sound good to you, why not just re-record it until it sounds better? Truth be told, I recorded the story multiple times, and out of all of them, none of them sounded good, not even the finished video that I have. As I stated, I thought I knew what I was doing and thought I had it all figured out, but I was wrong, unfortunately. I know that you must already hear it in my voice. I'm a natural baritone. My voice is naturally deep. And for me to voice act in higher pitched tones, mainly because the main cast is all girls, it's very hard for me to do it. And with the whole first person's perspective and doing the narration in the voice acting throughout the whole chapter, it just is very hard, or maybe not even hard, but it just sounds very bad. And I tried using the method of using my normal voice for the narration, but that also sounded bad and really cut the credibility of the story. Therefore, I decided against that, and I just haven't found a method that works well with first-person stories. I don't know why I thought I was able to do it, but unfortunately, I'm not, and came to the conclusion that this story shouldn't be read, especially by me, someone who is incapable of reading first-person stories. I apologize to everyone who was waiting for the story. If it helps at all, there is another YouTuber out there who goes by the name of the Brony Chronicler, who is currently reading the Swedish Gem. The difference is that he's reading it in a much higher quality, and with probably better voice acting than I could ever do in my lifetime. So you should probably subscribe to him to get the full experience the first story has to offer. Who knows, maybe he'll even be more than happy to read the sequel for all of you. However, the fall of one means the rise of another, meaning that there is some good news to be had, because you must be asking yourself, this was supposed to be your 400 plus sub special, what are you going to do now that you're not doing this story? Well, with the cancellation of this project, I came to a decision that I think a lot of you will be happy, and I think that you will all benefit from it as well. So to make up for canceling this project, I have decided to do something that I really didn't want to do, but seeing as that I feel I owe you guys this, I decided to go against myself and do it anyway. I've decided that I am going to open up requests. That's right, every pony. I'm going to be opening up requests. That means that you can send me whatever story you want me to read, and I will read it. It could be any kind of story that you want. Grimdark, Clop, anything that your mind can think of, I will read it. Now, normally I have a long list and guidelines of stories that I look for, and it really makes me a picky reader when it comes to fan fiction like this. However, because I owe this to you guys for canceling this story, I'm going to negate all those rules and allow you to pick the stories that I will be reading. However, if there are any rules that I want to reinforce, there's only 2 of them. The first rule, and should be most obvious thanks to this video, is that if you're gonna send me a story, please don't send me any stories that are in the first-person perspective. As you can obviously see, I can't really read them, as much as I tried. You know, I really tried to get it down pat, but I just couldn't do it. I mean, my voice acting is terrible, I know that. And for me to do a whole story or whole chapter in a certain voice, it just sounds plain awful. So, I would appreciate it if you send me a story that's not in the first-person perspective. I wouldn't mind a second-person perspective story, even though I really don't like them, but seeing as this is for you, I won't have a problem reading them. The second rule that I really must enforce is that if you're gonna send me a story, please send me a story that's complete. I don't want to read anything that's incomplete or in progress, because that runs the risk of me forgetting that the story is still in progress, and therefore it will lead to me forgetting that I started reading the story in the first place. So, other than that, if you have a story that you want me to read, I will be more than happy to read it for you. This is my way of saying I'm sorry for canceling this project. I know a lot of you were subscribed to me because you wanted to hear this story continue, and I apologize to everyone for canceling this story. It just feels right that I need to do it this way, because with the way that I was reading it, it wasn't serving the story any justice, and this story deserves a lot better than I have to offer. So I apologize again to everyone for canceling this project. One last thing you must be thinking about right now is, why aren't you reading this sequel to Love's a Dragon by Thunder Magus? Well, like I had said before, the story isn't finished yet. I do plan to read that story soon. I really want to. I read the story thus far and it is amazing. Unfortunately, the author has not finished it and has taken an indefinite hiatus on the story. So until the story is finished, I'm not going to be reading the story. I mean, granted, I could start it, but like I said before, I run the risk of forgetting about it, and I really don't want to do that. So, yeah. Okay, I think I've wasted enough of your lives for now. Thank you so much for your support and being patient with these videos. And I promise that if I ever do a project like this again, that I will definitely read it. You know, I feel really bad that I had to cancel this at the last minute, especially when the first part of the videos is actually finished. I just feel that this is the right thing to do as far as the story, and I apologize if this was what all of you subscribed to me because of. I would understand completely if you chose to unsubscribe to this channel because of it. I feel I deserve that. You know, I won't be surprised if that's what happens. So, again, I'm sorry. I'm working on new videos, and I hope to have them out very soon. So, thank you all for your continued patience and support with these videos, and I hope to see you all in the next video. So, until then, the one and only Dark Shadow here, signing off.